Features from North Carolina, sa4nc, professional, dependable, trusted. Those are features that must be elevated in the industry. The important thing here, though, is sa4nc is an advocacy group committed to advancing the institution of bail and the reputation of its practitioners in North Carolina. We deserve more respect than we get, and sa4nc is going to stand up for us in that way. It's also important, it's also a method to getting that respect, is what we say when we say coming together for the good of our industry, community, and the criminal justice system. That's very important. If we're ever going to achieve the goals of our advocacy, then we have to come together. It's very important we do that, or at least make a genuine, honest effort to do it. And if we cannot do it, then those of like mind will move forward in the same positive way. Things we think are important, the things we think will lead us to a place of that elevated respect that we are due, is accountability, personal accountability, that we hold ourselves to a particular standard, and those who work for us. Professionalism, that says enough. Be trustworthy, which you are. Get involved in your community. Offer something in addition to your clients, something, offer them something, give them something other than just a receipt for their money. We do that at PBS through Piedmont Bonding Services, through referral services. We do have a political agenda, some things that we think are important, some things we want your input on, and what I talked earlier about. If you have other ideas or comments or things that resonate with you, then let us know that. But this is also, these are three things we put up. We have other thoughts. We want your thoughts though. We want to create a list of things that we can look at as a group and determine what of those things advances our profession in the way we want it to go. There is one political issue that I have, and that is GS 15A 5447D that causes a bail bondsman agent to be cut off statewide should a bond go unpaid in his county, any county. Had a conversation about that with someone, and their response to that was, "What? You don't want people to pay their bail, their forfeitures?" Of course I want people to pay their forfeitures. Of course I do. But that's indicative of the narrow view that some people have about how to resolve issues. This thing was brought about with the intention of reducing the numbers. And there's a way we can reduce our numbers, as I said earlier, without doing this. Another thing that I think is more geared to community support. When I talk about sa4nc standing for supporting our communities too, how many people get caught and fail while they're in jail across the county, or in some cases in the same county? I just don't think that should ever happen. I think we need to do something to cause an NC aware check, a bind check, something before defendants are caught and failed. Who would do that? The district attorney's office? I don't know. Certainly a defense attorney should do that, appointed or otherwise. We talked too about the numbers in our business, and when I talk about other ways other than this legislation, 15A5447D, as a method to reduce our numbers, there are other ways to do it. One way we can do it is distinguish those who want to be professional bail bondsmen. When I say professional, I don't mean it in the professional context that we know it in, but in a larger scope. Those who want to be professional bail bondsmen, surety agent, professional, otherwise, are committed to that and they're good at that. But there are many in our ranks who have no desire to do that. They want to be recovery specialists. Well, perhaps we should create something. Perhaps there should be a distinction for that group. Lord knows we need them. I need them. And it's certainly respectable work. But it's a different skill set than what posting agents must possess. So, worth conversation, I think. Is it possible that there could be a different distinction? Could we not reduce our numbers, but categorize our numbers in such a way that creates a better environment for us all? I think relationship development is important too. And I appreciate the work that the association has done with the legislature. Well, some of it I don't appreciate at all, but they've done some good work. They've done some very good work, and we can't overlook that. There may be things about what they've done we don't like, but you can't throw everything out the window because there's been some good work done since I was in the business before and have now returned. So some good work has been accomplished there, despite some difficulties I might have with some other aspects of the work. Good work has been done. But we need not only to be talking to the legislature, we need to talk to our sheriff's associations. We need to talk to our chiefs of police associations. We need to be in conversation with the bar. We need to be in conversation with our association, and we need to be in conversation with the Bell Academy. Because again, this is in keeping with the intent for us, how important it is for us to come together, work these issues out, but also in the process, really give these authorities, the Sheriff's Association, the Chiefs of Police, and others, a true sense of who we are and their commitment to the system and our ability to contribute in a positive way. But if we're not talking to these people, then they cannot know that. All they can know is the horror stories that we all hear and cringe when we hear it. Being a member of sa4nc will distinguish you from people who have, it will distinguish you from some. Anybody can be a member pretty much. Any licensed surety bell agent, professional bondsman certainly is welcome. And that's another thing. Some say the answer to the insurance problem, or rather the bail bonding problems in North Carolina, is surety agents. Well, there's some good men and women out here that are surety agents, and the suggestion that it's because they don't have skin in the game is an uninformed response. But there are truly great professionals out there too, and we need to be on the same page with them, and they need to be welcome in our organization, because we want the same things that many of them want, which is elevation of our image, but also, even better than surety agents, they recognize and value the authority and the role that they have. We could emulate them in that way. Too many of us don't appreciate how important what we do is, and the positive or negative impact we can have by the way we do it. So to be a member, simply a licensed bail bondsman, surety, or professional, even your staff. If you have in the hope that sa4nc there will be an office, at least one in every county. It would be good to have other people on staff that believe in the model, believe in what you're trying to do in your community, whether bail bondsman or not. And they could certainly be sponsored by the general agent or the organization to be members too, because they have a lot to say. I have an assistant that is not licensed yet, but has a lot to say and has interesting thoughts and ideas about how we might achieve the objectives I've been talking about for months, boring them to death with, I'm sure, but they have input. Their input is valuable too. And other interested parties. I can see this thing. I have good relationships with pretrial release, and we all should, and we should not have the fear of them that has been suggested we should have by some of our leadership. There's about anyone involved in the business can be involved with sa4nc, so long as they subscribe to our tenets and principles and agree with our accountability standards. One of the things we ask people to do is like I said earlier, to do more than just give somebody a receipt for their money. Offer a referral to a treatment program. Have a chaplain on staff or on call that you can make referral to. Give folks, to the extent that you can, a tool to go forward with. That goes a long way in a lot of ways, and also contributes to your loss prevention. How does that work? We can talk about that, but it does. Community support. Get involved in your community. Support something. Elevate your image in that community. If you get a complaint, not everything needs to go to authorities outside of you. Have a protocol. We hope that if you join our organization, we'll begin to take membership, and you become part of our voice, that you will display your sa4nc logo, because it will distinguish you from others in your community. And we do have an oath of membership, and it's very simple. It is recognize the opportunities to do good and resist the opportunities to do bad. It's very simple. But those are important things to us, that we have something to offer our clients other than a receipt for their money, or rather in addition to. There are a number of benefits to being part of the association. I shouldn't say the word association, because that is not what we are. Um, Number one, you truly have a voice with the legislature and community-based organizations, the sheriff's office, through statewide meetings, that sort of thing, uh, 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 direct interaction. You have dispute resolution services. You have a client that won't pay you. Maybe we can help you with that. Specialized training programs. We think that there does need to be some specific training for people who only want to do recoveries. We want to put together a team in every part of the state to respond to the needs of our membership. And again, we say we see the need or how it could be helpful to have a distinguishing credential between those who intend to post bonds and those who intend to do recovery work. We will develop incredibly talented recovery teams through that process. And people I've talked to about this don't really see this happening, but surety agents work for insurance companies. Insurance companies own a lot of stuff. If we could negotiate a 1,700 strong group, some sort of a insurance outside of the surety of the bond that we write, then I think that we're missing an opportunity. We got to try that, particularly in light of healthcare and all the other issues that are going on in our communities. Cost of membership. We really don't want to charge anybody anything except for what we do for them. If we don't do anything for you, don't pay anything to us. It's kind of the theory. But we will have some programs that will generate revenue. Some of that is the training programs that we do. We will provide training for new agents particularly to inform them about this model, to show them how it works in terms of loss prevention. And at some point, if we will ask for people to support us when we begin to speak with the Sheriff's Association, the bar, other organizations we think that we should spend some time with, we will ask for some assistance in funding that. But for the most part, we want to be self-funded through services that we provide you. Your input on that will be important too. This is not about money, but we must have some money to achieve the objectives that we want to achieve. So there's a lot to talk about there, and I look forward to having that conversation when the time is right. But for now, we're trying to put together a group of people who want to share their ideas and thoughts and encouragements and criticisms. We need to hear the whole thing, and we're open to that. If we put the right program together, funding will take care of itself. And in the interim, I got it covered. So you're invited. I'm just going to read this to you. As we're developing our plan and strategy to reset bail in North Carolina, it is crucial that we have your input. If you receive this video through our newsletter, we ask that you subscribe. You should be, if you got it in the newsletter, there should be a subscribe button on it somewhere. We want you to be part of this movement. I'm calling it a movement, but you call it what you want, cause. But I call it this important movement to reinstill professionalism and common decency in this honorable profession. For too long, we have been misrepresented by folks from within and without our business, and it's time that we take a stand for ourselves, our families, our clients, our communities. We do not have all the answers, but together we'll find solutions that are sure to improve our standing in the criminal justice community and result in a more empowering contribution to our clients and communities at large. So please subscribe to our newsletter or write us sa4nc info@gmail.com.